Hey, now this is actually a tutorial for today. Some of you may have done the work already. It's pretty easy for grammar this week. So this is obviously the tutorial for grammar in our literacy pack. We're looking at nouns again, so naming words, but different kinds of nouns. So in this case, we're looking at singular and plural, and it's a pretty easy concept. So basically, when we use singular nouns, we're talking about one particular thing. So it might be a frog, a monkey, a student. They're singular nouns because we're talking about one each time. Plural nouns, on the other hand, basically refer to a group of those things. So instead of frog, we have frogs. Instead of monkey, we have monkeys. Instead of student, we have students. So usually it just means putting an S at the end of your noun to make it more than one. It might be two, it might be 20, but it's definitely more than one. So plural means more than one. Now I'm going to scroll down the page a little bit here because there's at least one exception to that rule where you only have to put an S at the end of things. There are different kinds of nouns which actually have a consonant and a Y at the end of them. For example, the example I have here is baby. Now instead of just putting an S at the end of baby, we get rid of the Y, we knock it off, and instead we put an IES. These kind of nouns don't pop up very often. So the type of noun which has a consonant and a Y at the end of them, we don't see them very often. But if you do find them, for example, in the case of baby, or maybe in the case of lady, you get rid of the Y and you put IES instead of just the S. So just try and keep that rule in mind. Most of the time it's just an S at the end, except for those special circumstances where you have a consonant and a Y. Just look for the Y at the end. That's a good sort of reminder to have a proper look at that noun and see if it needs to be changed to an IES instead. So for example, as we have on the page here now, one rattle, two rattles. That's an easy one. You just put an S at the end. One baby, two babies. So we get rid of the Y and put an IES there instead. If you scroll a bit further down the page, you'll notice that you've got a list of singular nouns and a couple of plural nouns. Your job is to simply fill in the blanks. So instead of school, you've got more than one school, so it's going to be, should I give you the answer? No, I'm not. I'm not going to give you the answer. Instead of fly, you'll have, I'm not going to give you the answer, but have a look at that last letter of that particular noun. Now with cars, you've got the plural there already, so you just have to come up with a singular. Instead of 10 cars, I have one what? And you just need to fill in the blank. So that one should be fairly easy to work through. So just imagine in a sentence, there's one something, two somethings. Think about how that might be spelled. Let's scroll down a little bit further. So with question 1 on the next page, copy these sentences, change the subject of each sentence into the plural. So we looked at subject nouns last week. So basically it's the main noun in the sentence, the thing that's actually doing the verb. In this case, you just have to change the singular to the plural. So instead of one fly, you've got to change it. I'm not going to tell you what the answer is, you change it. And move through that list under question 1. Under question 2, it's the other way around. So instead of pictures, you have one and you change it. So you're rewriting the sentence with singular instead of plural. Up above, you've got singular changing to plural. It also asks you to change the verb, so make sure the verb makes sense. So read out the sentence again and make sure that the verb makes sense. You might need to change the verb as well. So read it out loud and see if that makes any sense. Again, if there's any quick confusion, contact Mr. Hammonds or me. That's what we're here for. If you haven't got the homework already finished for today. At the bottom, again, we've got practice your punctuation. In this case, you need to change the verb again. So again, the sentence makes sense when you read it out loud. And remember to add the missing capital letters and full stops. So capital letter at the beginning of the sentence, full stop at the end, and capital letters for proper nouns. Proper nouns, you remember, are names of specific things. Mr. Hammonds is a proper noun. Teacher, common noun. All right, yep. So there you go. Again, please let us know, and if there's any queries or questions, and looking forward to hearing from you. Just a reminder too, this week is a short week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, homework only. All right, catch you later, everybody.